What's up, y'all? VZ me back with another video. I just see about throwing title reacting to Miss Jasmine Crockett. Make sure y'all like, comment, subscribe. Let's get right to it. Let's go.
Historian Timothy Snyder told The Guardian, Trump is a little guy and Musk is a big guy when it actually comes to money. And I think if you were a friend of Trump, you would be worried. This has all been one big gift to Democrats who've been doing some soul searching of their own after losing working class voters to Donald Trump in 2024 and struggling to rebrand. But now they can say no one voted to send this billionaire to the White House, but there he is, pulling all of the strings, exerting control over Republicans and influencing policy. The puppet master. I should note that these are all
AI is getting crazy, bro.
For you right now, but are they really that far from reality? Joining me now to start the second hour is Democratic Congresswoman Jasmine Crockett of Texas. Congresswoman, good to see you. Let's just start with your reaction to the fact that there seems to be trouble in paradise between this bromance with Donald Trump and Elon Musk, and how you think that may play out.
Yeah, hopefully it's cutting season instead of cuffing season for these two. You know, listen, I think that Donald absolutely wants to cut the strings, but he really doesn't know how. I mean, this is a guy who has always decided that he wanted to surround himself with people that had money and or power. And right now, all he cares about is money. Listen, for those that felt like he was going to be their savior and be the guy that was looking out for the middle class, he has never been middle class. And so he's not looking out for them. We know that he is filling his cabinet, or at least attempting to fill his cabinet, with other people that are very wealthy. He is looking out for his future and what that will look like. And so that's why it is difficult for him to cut the strings, because he needs Elon.
Cutting season versus cuffing season, that is quite poetic. I appreciate it. It's kind of hard to go someone who put $250 million in your campaign, though. I don't know how that happens, leaving somebody on red like that. But in a serious...
Put $250 in, $250 million. God damn, that's insane.
No, Congresswoman, there is a real threat of conflicts of interest and national security threats that Elon Musk poses, being that close to the president, running the Office of Government Efficiency, and then also having as many tentacles throughout government with respect to the merger of private industry and where he sits. What are Democrats doing to stay on top of that and make sure that these potential conflicts of interest do not threaten the American people?
Yeah, you know, it's sad to say, but I think the threat is already here. I don't think that this is a matter of if, but a matter of when. And it is one of the reasons that I am attempting to continue my service on the Oversight Committee, because it is going to be really important that in that committee, even if our chairman, Comer, does not want to have very real conversations about these threats that are being presented for all American people because of the conflicts of interest that Elon has. You know, one of the things that people did not talk about a lot in that continuing resolution that Elon blew up, part of it was really about him. It had nothing to do with additional monies being shelled out anywhere. It had everything to do with disallowing him from engaging in some of the investments that we believe that he is trying to do as it relates to China. We know that we have seen continual aggression coming from China. We know that Russia is not necessarily our best friend, regardless of the fact that Trump doesn't recognize this. And so with him sitting in these rooms, with him not necessarily being put into a position where he has to be Senate confirmed, with him being able to actually basically puppeteer the incoming president and having his own individual interests, whether we're talking about the contracts that he's looking for, those defense contracts, you know, those federal dollars, I'm sure those are not the ones that he's going to seek to cut. We really need to make sure that we are highlighting this for the American people and doing everything that we can, even if it means that we've got to go to Trump's Supreme Court and try to get them to do what they are supposed to do, which is to follow precedents and follow the law and follow the Constitution.
I want to play a portion of an interview that aired today with my colleagues on the weekend, and retired Lieutenant General Russell Honore, who was making the case as to why Musk is, in fact, a national security risk, particularly with respect to his ties in China. We'll talk on the other side of this. Take a listen.
This might be the only time I agree with Steve Bannon. He has questioned Musk's influence and his capability and his connection with foreign leaders. Musk has conversations with Chinese president, with the Russian president. He's got an enormous amount of influence. I guess that's what comes with being the richest man in the world.
Do you agree with that? Is, in fact, Elon Musk, or should he be seen as a national security risk?
He absolutely should be. I mean, it's been laid out. But this is a matter of really Americans deciding that they're going to stand up and say something, right? We know that when it comes to MAGA and when it comes to Trump, they believe that they have a mandate. But exactly what that mandate is, I don't know, because, you know, he has made it clear that he's like, well, I don't know if I can really get the cost of food down. Well, I can tell you that his base needs to be loud about the fact that they want to be safe in this country. And I need people not to take it for granted that we do have oceans on the east and the west coast of us that are actually helpful to us. It's water that helps us. But with, you know, Musk and Trump talking about Canada and talking about Mexico and talking about expanding the United States while also palling around with the likes of Putin, who obviously, in my opinion, has been in violation of so many international laws when it comes to deciding that he was going to go into Ukraine and how he has conducted himself in this war. I mean, it seems like we're living in the upside down, and we need some real adults in the room. And right now, I don't see that he has picked any to surround himself with that will talk about the fact that this is not The Apprentice. This is not a TV show. This is real life, and real Americans are relying on him to step up to the plate and actually be the president of the United States and not be a guy that is going to submit himself to the likes of Xi Jinping.
All right. Every time that we talk, I feel like I'm asking you what Democrats are about to do. You are no longer a freshman member anymore. You survived one of the least productive sessions of Congress ever. What is the strategy that Democrats have going forward? Because I don't know that pointing across the aisle and saying that our Republican colleagues can't get it done is going to be enough.
Well, definitely that's part of the strategy. I mean, yes, this was the most unproductive Congress that we had in the 118th Congress, but we were talking about the fact that we at least still had the presidency and we had the Senate. Well, right now it is a Trump trifecta, and if y'all really believe that y'all have a mandate, well, guess what? Technically, you don't need the Democrats. You can get it all done amongst yourselves. So I absolutely plan to sit back and watch them try to figure things out by themselves. Now, we know, at least on the House side, that they have always been unable to do this. We know that they have a slimmer majority, but the longer that we can stand together and say, no, 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 this is your problem, because we are not going to be the ones that are going to be on the front lines of trying to inflict the very same pain that we campaigned against, whether we're talking about getting rid of Social Security, Medicaid, Medicare, all of the things that they have talked about. We just heard Hakeem Jeffries on yesterday talk about the fact that these are not entitlements. These are literally benefits that people have worked and earned. And so, no, we will stand up for the American people at all times, and we will make sure that we are making it clear. I think that it's going to be important that we have a real rapid response team when it comes to communications. We cannot allow their lies to sit around and fester and grow, because in that void, it ends up becoming truth. And honestly, our silence is complicit. And so we've got to make sure that we're speaking up, speaking out. And then, of course, you're going to hopefully have me sitting on oversight and judiciary in real time, calling out their lies and making sure that we are not only doing this in committee, but we're doing it on podcasts. We're doing this on radio morning shows. We're doing this on the traditional spaces such as MSNBC and other networks. But also for those that are okay with going on those other ones that I don't talk to, we're going to have to reach out to there, because we are going to have to do more than just preach to the choir. But we are going to have to educate folk that seemingly think that they don't see the world the same as we do. But we're going to have to let them know that we are their real champions.
And I got about 30 seconds left. How much pressure do you think is on Democrats to really make it clear what Republicans aren't doing as we go into this new session of Congress?
Yeah, I feel more pressure now than I did in the 118th because at the end of the day, we have midterms that are coming up in 2 years, and we are so close to taking the House. There is only going to be a 2-seat majority in a few days, where it's 217 to 215, and so we really need to take the House, and so we can do that in 2 years and hopefully really start to thwart this terrible Project 2025 agenda. So it's going to mean everything. So we're going to get in there and we're going to work hard.
Congresswoman Jasmine Crockett, thank you and good luck. And let me be the first to wish you a happy J13.
Yeah, this should be an interesting year in the world in general. Last year was kind of crazy, not personally for me, but in the world, yes. So with this Project 2025 shit and everything else is gonna go on, that's gonna go on in the world, because we all know it's gonna be crazy stuff in the world. It already started off crazy. I ain't gonna mention none of the tragedies like a day after, you know what I'm saying, New Year's, but it's been crazy. Shout out to Jasmine Crockett. Always speaking her mind. Yeah, I know y'all love her on this channel. I love her too. So make sure y'all like, comment, subscribe. We're gonna continue this channel. We can continue growing. And yeah, I love y'all. Make sure y'all like, comment, subscribe. Peace and love. I hope y'all have a great year, even though I'm gonna see y'all tomorrow. Peace.